Hi everyone, it's Jen again. I'm coming with another update on game development. So I have hopped right into working on mission 2 for Esper X Guide. I've been looking forward to doing another dungeon, taking a little bit of a break from all like the conversational and like bonding type dialogue, and moving on with a little bit more of like this heavier story or a more linear narrative. So I do find working on dungeons to be a little bit easier than working on the headquarters stuff, even though it involves more like programming as far as like creating the composite images and doing the location stuff. Everything is just a little bit more controlled since I have the player on like a path where they have set conditions that kind of like unlock one after the other. Yeah, it's not nearly as daunting as like the freeform sort of like roaming around campus for 14 days is. So I've made a decent amount of progress despite feeling like I haven't. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to also kind of just like talk a little bit about the inevitable roadblocks that you may run into if you are a parent and a full-time worker, and caretaking, whether it be pets or children or elderly adults, whatever it might be. It can be very difficult to maintain a balance, and I'll be honest, like my balance is pretty fragile. Any external factors that disrupt the flow of my day, I feel it like immediately, even if it's only like an extra 15 minutes, an extra 30 minutes a day. It really kind of like messes with my energy allotment. I think I'm like teetering on this borderline of like efficiency and like this level of like productivity that like makes me happy, but like that doesn't leave me exhausted while maintaining my responsibilities. Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like it just happens without a lot of intention. I have to intentionally make time to do the things that I want to do while balancing out my responsibilities. I can't just float day to day and be like, oh, well, this will probably happen. Nothing works out like that. And I think that's where some people can get into these sort of like ruts in life where they feel like they don't have enough time to pursue the things that they want to pursue because they allow external pressures to kind of derail them, and they don't have like a real clear or set intentional use of their time. And yeah, it does sound kind of like rigid and maybe not fun for how some people want to explore life, but for me it works well in letting me have my time to work on development while also being able to fulfill my responsibilities, because as a working parent I have a lot of responsibilities, and that's why a lot of people who are in similar shoes will find themselves like always short on time and energy being the big thing, right? Because a lot of times we will have like little hours here and there during the course of the day where we're not like in the middle of something that we have to do. I feel like most of us can still make time to like sit on the couch or lay in bed or sit at the computer to like watch YouTube, check messages, give a phone call, read a book. At least that's where I'm in my life. Maybe when you're dealing with like very demanding dependents, like when your children are very small, I wouldn't be able to work in the time that I'm doing with game development, like when my son was younger than like school age, for example. Things started to get more manageable. I started to have more time and space for myself when he was probably around 6, and I remember thinking during that time, okay, he can slow down now. This is a good this is a good age. I can communicate with him. He's starting to show signs of like being able to be cooperative and like follow like logical reasons to listen to others, and he's starting to get some more awareness, and being able to communicate was like a big thing. So yeah, all those things, I feel like we're being tested. Like you never quite find like the answer where, okay, now everything is smooth sailing if I just keep rinse and repeat the same thing every day, and then I will be golden. Like, life doesn't work that way. It's always going to be throwing little wrenches in that you have to make adjustments, and I find that rarely do those adjustments like lead to like, oh, now I have more time and energy that I didn't expect to have. Like that doesn't usually happen. Most of the time you have to kind of like fight and claw your way and adapt and set boundaries and make sacrifices. So I guess my sacrifices in like the last 5 years of working in development was kind of like the amount of time that I spend entertaining myself passively, like playing games, and mainly playing games and like watching movies and TV. Those are things that I honestly don't do very much anymore. I still read probably every day, but the other stuff I'm mostly given up. Every now and then I still will dabble in it a little bit, and I would like to get back into it a little bit more just to broaden my perspective and like stay in touch with like things that are happening. Most of the time I hear these things more secondhand and don't experience them for myself anymore. So I just don't feel like I have the time. It's like either that or game development. Either I play games or I make games. I don't have time for both these days. So, you know, that's where I'm at. I still do make time for reading because I do need some time to kind of like disconnect my brain, to be a little bit more, to unwind a little bit more. So I choose reading because I think it's less strain on my eyes and on my body, like my posture and stuff. Like being at the computer, I already spend so much time at the computer that I feel like reading is more relaxing to me now, because I don't have to be at my desk. so yeah, all that good stuff. I just like to, I know I talk about it a lot, but it's a part of my life, you know. It's a part of so much of what I do, is like finding and maintaining and fighting for that balance. And this past couple of weeks, I really felt like I had a few days where I was really just frustrated and disappointed because I'm like, I didn't get to work on this game. I only had one day that I didn't get to work on it at all. And that almost set me in like a downward spiral because I'm like, what am I even trying to do? Because I do almost like religiously work on it every day. And so losing that is almost like, I don't know, not looking at my phone for a day or something. Like it's just, it doesn't sit right. It makes me have a lot of anxiety. To lose that sense of structure, and to me it's like that sense of myself, that sanctuary that I carve out for myself, that I'm not giving to anybody else, is just like me. Yeah, so that was like really disheartening, and I think sometimes we tend to get into these kind of catastrophic modes of thinking where it's just like, oh well, I failed my goal, in this one step, and so what's the even point anymore? I'm just going to keep failing, and so I'm just going to give up, and I'm just going to like unplug my brain and my expectations, and just put my head in the sand, in a hole in the sand. At least that is my pattern of behavior in my younger days, as I had such high expectations for myself that I usually upheld. But then like failing that one time would send me in those like downward spirals that would honestly take me so much time to get out of. Why? What was the purpose of that? These days I can look back on that and be like, well, that's silly. That's like one day. Like you just forget about it, and the next day you move on. And so that's what I did this time around. Was I was upset at that day, but I just proceeded on to do the best that I could, or do the most that I could within reason on the next day. And I look back and I'm like, oh, I do have all this stuff I can actually show that I accomplished, because it really is that marathon of just do a little bit every day, and it adds up. It's astonishing. I still astonish myself at like how much that adds up when I feel like I'm barely giving it a few minutes of time here and there. All those little tiny moments like add up, and it can sometimes feel frustrating in the moment, because I am the type of person who wants to like hyper focus, that I would like to just sit down there and work on it uninterrupted for like 5 hours, but that's not the reality that I live in. And so I've had to rewire my brain and my thinking to become more flexible, to say, okay, I have maybe 15, 30 minutes. Maybe I'll have an hour, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get interrupted and I'll get pulled away from it. I have my project set up in a way that, I can save it at any time. And maybe it'll take me an extra 5 minutes to reorientate myself when I come back to it, because, I couldn't always start and stop in like the neatest little places that would make it like make the most sense. But taking that extra time to reorientate myself is still better than not working on it at all. Like, if I have to get taken away, if I have to have that moment of frustration of like, okay,
strange,
here we go again. Where was I again? Like, that becomes more tolerable the more that I just don't have any expectation. Then I'm like, okay, I see myself having a moment here. Gonna work on it as much as I can. May or may not get interrupted. And that's still more progress than like just thinking about it and being like, oh, I wish I had more time. I wish I had more time. That time that I spent wishing I had more time was a waste of time. And I think if most of us are honest with ourselves, we have extra time. If you're watching this YouTube video right now, you have extra time. And I'm guilty of that too. I mean, like, maybe it's unrelatable, but I have the time to make videos, to watch videos, to read books, to work on my game development, to walk the dog every day, to snuggle with my cats, to go to work, where I am at work or in transit for 10 hours a day, make dinner, make myself lunch, make breakfast, drop off my kids to school. Like, I do all these things, but somehow I still have time to like take a long bath, a couple times a week. It helps with my back and everything. If I take the time to take a long hot soak, a couple times a week, usually I do it, for like an hour, and I read while I'm in the bathtub. Maybe that's the secret. Is it's never good enough to just like do one thing. I always have to like be multitasking. I don't know. But I think if most of us are like honest with ourselves, like, oh yeah, I guess I make time to stay in touch with my mom by calling her when I'm in the car driving to work. You know, stuff like that. I do think that where there is a will, there is a way. And maybe that's just survivor bias that I have because I'm currently being able to maintain this delicate equilibrium. But I feel like it's not a detriment to keep trying. And then if things aren't working out, to keep trying something different. Because isn't that better than living your life just being like, I wish I had more time. I am so tired. I wish I had, I wish I could do X, Y, Z. They're just spending years and decades, like, just being like, I don't like my life. Like, essentially, I don't like the way my life is. I wish it was different. And there's a lot of things that are outside of our control, but I do think that we still have some agency to our time, whatever our circumstances may be. And I would rather be in the position of constantly working towards finding and fighting to maintain some type of balance in my life where I am happy to wake up in the morning and I am looking forward to doing the things that I am doing. Even if that's only for I don't know how much time I'll have today, but I know that I'm gonna try to make that time. Working towards these goals that it's not that I need to have that game finished by the end of the year because it's gonna change my life. No, I just need to work on it every day because this is the life that I'm living and I want to live, and I need that in my life every day. It's not about investing in the future, it's about investing in the present. Alright, well, here's a bunch of footage of the stuff that I've been working on. I had the theme somewhat of the dungeon thought out in my mind. I have the next dungeon planned as well as far as like the theme that I want to have. The theme for this dungeon, I'll be honest, was not as clear as the theme that I have for the upcoming dungeon after this, Dungeon 3. Dungeon 1 and 2, I think the themes maybe not as strong. Dungeon 3, I think, is going to probably be the most focused thematically, the one that I've probably been looking forward to the most. So I've got this dungeon that I'm happy overall with how it's turning out. I wasn't happy with it at the beginning of the week, but it's starting to grow on me. And this upcoming week I'm going to be working on monsters, which I'm also super looking forward to. I've been doing some preliminary sketches and just tossing around a lot of ideas in my head. There probably is a lot of like intentional symbolism in the themes of the dungeons and the monsters, but what those symbols and themes are, I'll leave up to player interpretation. Okay, that's all I got for today, and hope you are having a good weekend, and wherever you are in life, I hope there's something that you're actively, intentionally doing with your life that makes you feel good and inspired to wake up in the morning. That's what I hope for everybody to have. Okay. Take care. Don't forget to enjoy the process. Bye now.
Agent Esper. Good. Hmm.
Hmm.
Really? Strange. Huh. Huh. What? Yes. Hmm. 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 Yes.